Dear class, welcome back to State and Local Government. This is the introduction to myself and to the course. Welcome to the course. I'm your instructor, Dr. Sophia Barkett. You can call me Sophia or you can call me Dr. Barkett, that's fine. I teach political science at NWAC and at the University of Arkansas. Teaching philosophy. So the way the course is structured, it's really meant for you to do the work and learn. I truly believe that whoever does the actual work gets the knowledge. So if I create hours and hours of lectures detailing everything, dishing out all the information that is in the readings and lectures and things like that, I mean, you are not going to learn anything because you'll watch the lectures, you'll understand what I'm saying, but you won't take an effort to do readings. So the way I'm structuring is the course is that some of the lectures will be heavy duty lectures. They'll give you a background on federalism and other issues, but most of the lectures will be light. And you will end up doing the reading for the week and doing little assignments every week that will help you to understand the material. So the lectures that I will have will be short in most cases. They will be meant to make you think. I will ask you questions in those. You must do the work yourself and get the rewards, right? Learning is painful. Some of these articles and chapters are a bit long. We do have many books for the course. However, they're very fun to read. They're very nice and kind of light reading. They're not textbook style, they're nonfiction books. One is a textbook, and that's going to give you some background. Anyway, so the point is that do not look at the lectures to be dishing out every single information possible. I will do that for about 6 or 7 lectures on, the beginning of the course. And then you are going to have enough grounding if you watch those lectures. And then you can do the rest of it, rest of the work by doing the actual groundwork yourself. Let's look at the textbooks. So there are 3 books that you have to buy. One is, there's one more, which is an online and free book. Both Amazon.com and the NWAC bookstores have the books that you need to buy, and 2 of those have Kindle versions. So Robert Lokander, Richard Shaw, and Kevin Bailey have written The Real World of Texas Politics. Buy this book immediately. It's on Amazon.com for about $10. You might find used copies. Those are even cheaper. Buy these books immediately. And this is a fantastic book on Texas politics. It's very light. It's very fun to read. And you get really caught up in it. And you can, I just read hours and hours of it. It's super fun. David Schleicher's book, In a Bad State, Responding to State and Local Budget Crisis. This is published by Oxford University Press, but it's still inexpensive. It's not that expensive, I think. So do check it out. The fun part about this book is that it talks about a lot of history in the last 100 years about all the crisis that happened with financing state and local budgets. And it goes into a lot of the Arkansas and southern states. So, I mean, I learned a lot from that, and it's going to be a lot of fun for people who like financial stuff, but also talk about politics. So this is a big part of state and local governments, and so you should look at it. It's very, very important. So buy these books immediately. What else is going on? We've got one book on Arkansas politics and government, and it's a compilation. Hoffman, Perry, and Reese, all of these guys are like academics. They're professors at University of Arkansas and other universities. And so each has there's like 20 people or something involved, and they've produced these beautiful chapters. each of them focusing on different issues. And this again is one of those, compilations I think is very important for understanding Arkansas politics and government. Do buy that immediately. It's a little bit more expensive. Finally, we will use a reference, American Government 3E. It's from openstacks.org, and I will go over this. So this is going to cover federalism, civil rights and liberties, things that are basic that you need to know, and a little bit here and there about the federal government and state governments and things like that. So do pay attention to this book. It's free. You can download and save it to your computer. So let's go and check it out. So this is openstacks.org. They produce free books, and we use one of them for American National Government. So this is what you guys will be using if you take American National Government here. And this is, I think, one of the best things. So click on it, and it gives you the option to download a PDF, go to your file. It opens up. So the objective is to save it. So we have to wait for it to open up. Once it does, you see this icon here on the top right corner, download it and save it to your desktop in a folder. So name that folder State and Local Government, keep your book there, keep anything else you need to keep there, like the syllabus, file, or anything else, okay? And that way you can access this book even when there's no Wi-Fi connection. So as you saw with this semester, Wi-Fi connection sometimes will not be there, and this will be very useful. Okay, so let's go back to our PowerPoint. So do these, and these books we'll be reading throughout the semester, and you will be working, producing some work related to them. So it's really important for you to buy the books. Okay, and these assignments will be required assignments. Course content. So in this course, we will learn about the history, philosophical foundations, branches, and functions of the American government and political system, but we're going to focus on state and local. That being said, we have to understand something called federalism. So federalism is the American political system right now. It's a type of power sharing among federal, state, and local governments. So we have to understand it. Not only is there power sharing, but the federal government also gives money to state and local governments. So we have to understand this. And this impacts how state and local governments can provide services. So we will look at some of that. We will focus on the issue of healthcare, public education, prisons, and other topics. We will also learn about state constitutions, direct democracy efforts, other issues related to power sharing, processes, and mainly for Southern states. So a lot of the readings focus on Arkansas and Texas. Some other readings will be there as well, which look at other states once in a while. We will learn about how city councils and state legislatures work. We will also get to know what the Arkansas governor and state legislature are working on policy-wise. Lastly, we will try to understand how state and local government are financed, as I mentioned, right? And how they spend their monies. So students will get a chance to work on all kinds of issues. They will also attend city council and state legislature meetings. So there's an assignment where students actually attend city council meetings, and if some people are in Little Rock, they can go to state legislature meetings. And there's a lot of information inside the Canvas course shell about this. Let's take a look at the course shell. So Let's share that. Here's the core shell for state and local government. So there's a welcome message. Look at that. Start here is a module. These are all called modules. When you click on it, it closes. Click again, it opens. So September 8, you guys will be introducing yourself by September 8. Go look at that assignment. The syllabus module, you close it, click on it, and it will close. And if you click on it, it opens. So here is a PDF copy of the important dates for the semester. I'm going to update a syllabus here, and let's actually do that right now. So syllabus have to be constantly fixed. So I keep deleting and updating that. State and local. Let's see, where is the syllabus? State and local syllabus. Okay. All right. And you see the state and local syllabus can be downloaded for anybody who wants to keep the copy, or if they need to use a text to voice editor to read the syllabus. You can also see the breakdown here. So if you look at the schedule of readings and assignments, it tells you what's going on. Okay, so this goes over the required stuff. This goes over the schedule of the class. So you look at what we're doing week to week. Because this is an online class, I, sort of mentioned week 1, week 2, week 3, like that. So this is how it's divided. So we start the course, everything is week 1. Look at what's due week 1. Then go to week 2, Foundations of American Government. Look at the lectures here. These are kind of long. Each of them is about maybe 10 to 20 minutes or something like that. So do check those because you need that to understand the historical background. You also have additional videos and readings to look at. And there's quite a few for week 1, but it's going to be fun because these are all, or rather week 2, this is like light stuff. Week 3, we start looking at early forms of government in the US. Watch the lectures. These are, again, a little bit, could be 15 to 20 minutes each, but you need them to understand what's happening. Week 4, we continue federalism. Watch the lectures. These focus on different aspects of federalism. They're taped for American National Government courses, but since you need the topics, you're getting the videos. There's also additional videos for your convenience. So do look at the additional videos. They're a lot of fun, and some of them are very important for understanding the lecture. The 50 states. So in one of the sections of the semester, we'll focus on what the 50 states are doing, and this will be the major part. So we'll look at the demographics of 50 states. We'll look at federalism, states, and Medicaid. So how does federalism affect the healthcare choices of states, right? So we'll look at that. And there's tons of readings, and so you will have a lot of things to look at. Of course, you won't be reading all the papers. You'll be reading 1 or 2 papers each week, and you have the choices here. You'll also focus a little bit on courts and their role in the civil rights movement and public education in the US. You need to understand this background to understand where the country came from and where it's going. State budgets and balance sheets. So here we have some papers written about state budgets and balance sheets. Some of them are a little long. Of course, these readings, some of them, we're lucky to have them at all. They're very informative, but do take the time to do the readings. Otherwise, you won't understand how to function in this course, because the lectures will be they're not going to explain what's in the readings. They require that you actually read the stuff. There might be many readings. Again, the exercises that you have to do, the weekly discussions will not require you to read everything. Business and politics is week 10. And then you look at business and politics in Arkansas. Here, you see that we are in week 10, we start to talk about the real world of Texas politics. So I gave you some time in which to buy the books, but that doesn't mean that you delay it. I'm saying this, that you actually have to start reading these things early. The books are not we're not going to read every single thing in the books, but we're going to read some chapters which are pretty long. And so you need to get started. So pace yourself about these things over the semester. Week 11, we have business and politics in Arkansas. So we're going to read some papers about Walmart. And there are options as well. But you're going to try and understand how local businesses function and how they make choices and how the federalism, the political system, affects what they're doing or not doing, okay? Week 12, direct democracy. So these are kind of like, we'll look at ballot initiatives in Arkansas and Arizona. So you guys can look at that. Week 13, we look at state constitutions. So here you guys are going to do some treasure hunting. You're going to go look for state constitutions and try to understand how they're set up. Week 14, we look at Southern politics and elections. We'll focus on elections in Texas and Arkansas at the state legislature level. And we want you to read chapter 3 and 4 of Real World of Texas Politics for this reason. There's also readings from Hoffman Perry in Greece. So you guys will choose either Texas or Arkansas for this week's readings. Week 15 is religion and politics. So this one is a very interesting set of, this is just one paper and then a chapter from chapter 4 from American government. So the paper is written by Cal Ledbetter Jr., and it's on the anti-evolution law. So Arkansas tried to teach evolution in schools, and there was a lot of uproar, and this is in the 1920s, so it's very interesting. Week 16, we may or may not have week 16 and week 17, but what happens is I created some work for you so that you can have some choice in topics related to weekly discussion. So you can choose to do week 16, week 17 stuff. In week 16, this is actually required. And so one of 3 of the assignments will be required because these are related to the books that are required for the course. And they're very important for you to understand, but they will be due anytime. So you can hand in your work at your own pace before the end of the semester. And so do read the David Schleicher book, which is In a Bad State. It's just fantastic. Week 17 stuff is about state and local prisons. We will be done with our semester by week 15, but if you have time, if you want to work on prison related stuff, you can go and check out these papers. So these are the course breakdown, the schedule rather. So you introduce yourself, you look at the syllabus, look at the readings and assignments. Let's look at the readings and assignments. So the schedule of assignments is we have, okay, so this is the wrong one I clicked on. This is this syllabus. So we don't want this, we want a breakdown of the work. So course content, assignment types, and grading. So let's see what we have. So here, this section goes over the books. Additional readings. So we will have additional readings, which will be in the other other reading sections. So they will be here. So a module has been created for other readings. So you see all these listed readings in the syllabus. Where are they? They're here. If something did not have a web link, a URL address, then I had to download it, and they are all here. All you have to do is click on them. They open up, you save them to your computer and read them. And you don't have to save them. You can just read it online. If you're worried about computer safety, don't save them. And so here are the weekly research exercises. So these are the small assignments that you can do based on weekly readings. And they tell you what week it is and the beginning of the US government. These are the titles of the course. And I'm going to add required to the ones which involve the textbooks, or rather the required readings. And I'll create one more for the prison one here. So other than that, let's look at the course shell again. So we walked through the actual website, so you got to see. So the course objectives, you will develop a working knowledge of the American government and political system, especially state and local, right? And students will complete assignments that expose them to real world scenarios, and they will develop writing and research skills. So you'll be doing a lot of online research on your own. Let's look at, so there's more politics courses that you can take. I teach public administration and policy next semester. If you haven't taken American national government, we focus a lot on the federal government in that one. You can take that next semester or whenever it's convenient for you. As I mentioned, additional readings are in the other readings folder or module. How to use Canvas, we walked over it. Modules are essentially folders, right? Weekly assignments, you saw that. Schedule of readings and assignments, we walked through it. Assignment types. So as I mentioned, there's going to be 10 required weekly discussions that you need to complete. They're all going to be inside that one big module called Weekly Discussion Form. Each assignment is 50 points. You have to do 10, and so the total for the category is 500 points. Tracking the Arkansas governor and state legislature actions. So this is a required assignment. The total points are 100. So you are to track the policies and actions of the Arkansas governor's office and the state legislature of Arkansas. So go to their websites, search online for these things, and then find what's going on there. What are their key policies that they're working on right now? What else are they doing? How many bills have they proposed? You know, what are they doing currently that's of interest to you? They might be doing many things. Give me a little introduction and then focus on one policy area for each of them and tell me a little bit more about what they're doing. You also have to read up newspaper articles that are published online about them. So what are they saying about Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders? What are they saying about the Arkansas State Legislature? What politics are they involved in, right? So read the news articles on a weekly basis to know what's going on. So you'll have to have included in your answer 10 news articles related to the Arkansas governor, which are on different topics, and 10 on the state legislature. So some of this is understanding what the policies are and that they are what they're promoting on their websites. You are to also grade their performance. So this is very interesting. So you're now a student of federalism. Okay, so you are going to understand what federalism is and how it impacts state and local government, right? So you're learning all this theoretical stuff, papers published, all that stuff. You're going to pick up ideas about how to run state and local government from these things. And so then you're going to analyze what the Arkansas governor and state legislature are doing using this information. So I want you to create a rubric, and we'll talk about this more. All of this is due November 24th before we start Thanksgiving break, because the semester will end soon after, right? You come back, we'll have 2 more weeks, and then people will just be in a helter-skelter position because it's the end of the semester, right? And so this project will be, the work will be submitted in parts over the semester to keep you on track. And the final report will be due November 20th. Last but not least, we are doing some actual physical trudging to meetings. So each student is required to attend at least one, and if possible, 2 city council meetings that are close to them, or state legislature meetings in Little Rock, and write a 2 to 3 page report on it. So the state legislature stuff is only for people who live, very close to Little Rock. I don't expect people from Benton County or Washington County to go there. It's too far away. However, if you want to make the trip, you're welcome to. There's a module set up for this report as well. So inside, you will see 2 discussion forums. In one forum, students must post the times of these meetings this fall. So you'll see that the city council is posting when they're going to have meetings. If they haven't got them up yet, go and call them. State legislature may also post when they're having meetings. So you have to search online, find the dates and times. If you don't know if these are open to the public, call them and find out. So you can find in this discussion forum, you're required to post the times of the meetings as a kind of reminder to yourself and also to the class. You're letting them know, here's the date and time that the meetings are being held, and these are the dates and times that I think I'm going there, So you post for the entire semester what's available. Call the city council people and find out when these days are, have them email you the information, or just write it down because they may never email you. They're so busy, right? You can also post it, share it, and then talk to each other in the discussion forum. Maybe you can go together, right? And then it's less awkward. You go there. But of course, these are public meetings. So, I mean, they're open to the public. However, with the state legislature, it may or may not be open to the public. You will need a state ID. You may need special permission from the state legislature to attend. However, it's going to be exciting if you can do that. And if you do that, you may need a letter from me. So make sure you email me, find out exactly what paperwork they need, and I'll submit that, okay? So students will post their report in the next forum. So there's a module with 2 discussion forums. In the first one, you post your meeting schedule and make connections with others. Find out, you can talk to each other and find out what's going on with each other. And in the second one, you post your 2 to 3 page report. What are you going to write about? What did you see there, right? What happened? What are your comments about what happened? Can you kind of recall all the stuff you learned in the semester about state and local government? Is anything coming up in your mind from those readings? So discuss a little bit about that and how it's relevant to your visit to the city council or state legislature. Extra credit. So there are some extra credit options. So one of them is to attend lectures. Another is people do service learning projects. Go check those out and see what that's about. These are not required assignments. They also cannot be substituted for required work. However, If you do all the work and you don't have an A, all the required assignments, and you don't have an A no matter how hard you tried, maybe attending some of these extra credit stuff like the lectures we have at NWAC, and sometimes we have events at NWAC that you can participate in and things like that. So if you can attend any of these virtually or in person, you can get the points. Grading process. So I will be grading your work soon after you share it, but I'm going to need 3 to 5 days to respond. So since I have a pretty heavy schedule this semester of teaching, I'm going to look at work as soon as I see it in Canvas and grade it and share it with you. So look for my feedback right under your answer. It's going to be right there. You're going to look at it. You will get 1 more week from the day I post my feedback to make any kind of revisions, corrections, updates, whatever you call it, right? Once you do that and it meets the needs of my request, you'll get more points. However, this also happens when sometimes people do the corrections, but they don't quite understand what's required. And so I don't offer more points immediately. What I do is I request again, saying that, okay, maybe there was a misunderstanding. However, these sections were not really updated. And so please go back and do those, right? Contacting me. So contact me using Canvas. We have the inbox section of Canvas. Check that at least twice a week. I will write students using inbox messaging. Usually I send reminders for assignments. I also sometimes just post what's coming up this week or next week for readings. You can also contact me if you're not feeling well or falling behind, something else has come up in your life, you're getting a bit stressed out, send me a message through inbox. Let's stay connected so I know what's going on with you. Otherwise, what happens is people fall out of the woodwork and then all this work piles up, and then they fail. I don't want that, okay? So I want you to do well. Meeting in person. You can also meet me in person. I didn't post the information here for privacy because this is, this meeting is going to be posted online, right? This presentation. But look at the syllabus for my contact info. My office is, where it is. Drop me an email about that. Drop by my office hours, okay? We can also meet virtually using Microsoft Teams. This is Teams. Wow. Wow. All right. So you can do that, right? Other course policies, check those out. They're in the syllabus folder. Some of them are course policies, some of them are university or rather NWAC policies. So one of the big issues is the question of accessibility. Check out that folder. It should be in the syllabus module. For those who want to download a copy, there's an MS Word file as well. So the question of accessibility is very important. Online courses should be accessible to people who have certain learning or physical disabilities, or people who are non-English speakers. So look at those, and I'm trying to offer as many tips in that file about how to make the course more accessible to you. Late work and being sick. So I'm trying to be flexible about deadlines if there are emergencies. And trust me, right now, I'm actually thinking about how much deadlines, how many assignments should have deadlines. For the weekly discussion assignments, I want to keep them open. But that doesn't mean when there's a week 1 assignment that you post the answer in week 10, right? A week 1 assignment should be done in week 1. A week 2 assignment should be done preferably by week 2 or 3. Week 3 should be done by 3 or 4, like that. Don't pile up the work to do in the last minute, because I'm going to give you zeros after a point, right? So I will close the forums, say after 2 weeks. So if there's a week 2 assignment, it'll close by week 4. So you have to finish your work on time. But there's a little bit of leeway, because sometimes what happens is you get busy doing all kinds of work. You have, work schedule, you have family life. So I want to give you some breathing time. And sometimes you fall sick, in which case you need more time. However, that being said, try to stay on track. Do your own work. NWAC frowns upon academic dishonesty, and I don't like lazy people. People who use ChatGPT and stuff, I used to have something about it. So do your own work. You're a smart person. And by own work here, I really mean ChatGPT, right? And other AI software. Don't use those unless you are, a non-English speaker, in which case you should probably start with an English for second language course, which will be very good to prepare you for college level English courses. So do your own work. There's no point in relying on other people, because you're smart and you can actually learn something by doing the work, right? Everything in this course is supposed to have an applied aspect to it, in the sense we use information which is factual. You learn from reports which are about state and local government. And all the assignments are going to get you busy in all kinds of research and, physically attending meetings and things like that. So don't fall behind. Enjoy the experience that you get from attending city council meetings. Enjoy the experience, perhaps, of going to the state legislature. You'll be tracking what the governor is doing, what the state legislature is doing. You'll be becoming an expert on what they're doing. And when there's a job that requires your expertise, you'll be able to say, hey, I know about this. So you know what? I'm the qualified person for this job, right? So use the opportunity to learn about what's happening on the planet, right? And so don't fall out of the woodwork. Don't go and pester anybody to do the work. Don't look at ChatGPT. Just, take the time to learn it and to have a good experience. Pace yourself. Give yourself time every week for studying and for completing assignments. So there will be a good amount of reading. However, it's going to be manageable. Weekly assignments will be short enough so you can breathe. But we do have that one project that tracks state legislature and the government. So that's going to require some persistent and regular work. And you do have to go to the city council meeting or the state legislature. Technology-wise, as you saw and heard, NWAC systems were down for a while, but they will be functioning for the semester. But if you have any problems, contact NWAC IT. If there is something related to the confusion regarding the syllabus and other things, contact me. Do not share your NWAC ID and password with anyone. Don't download anything from websites. Protect your computer at all times. So I did say download that American Government 3E. That's a reliable website. But if you feel that you don't feel safe about that, then just use, read the book from their website. Save your work. For assignments, I don't want you to type your assignment inside Canvas. I want you to start all your assignments in MS Word or another editor. Save all your work. Edit your work before sharing on the discussion forum. Even keep a USB file to save all your laptop work as a backup. This way you can never lose your work. Disputes. If you have any trouble with me or with the course conduct, please see the syllabus about who to contact to resolve the issue. So ultimately, why learn? Why take the course? Learning is meant to be fun. It's not going to be fun, however, if you are stressed. If you work 40 hours a week or have a full-time family obligations, you're going to have trouble in college. So I would only take this class if you have time to breathe and to treat yourself like a human being. Find a purpose. Find 5 reasons why you should study the subject matter in the course. Can it help you in your career path? Does it help you understand some aspect of society? Are you an intellectual and just love learning things? Career. So look at jobs in Indeed.com, in LinkedIn, or other career sites. What kind of careers are you looking to pursue? Look at the requirements they have for those jobs. Search the keywords. Maybe you want to be an engineer. Search engineer. See how many jobs there are. Maybe you want to be a construction worker. Type in construction. Maybe you want to be a chef. Type in chef. Do they ask for knowledge of American government, of state and local politics? Sometimes they do. They want somebody in management who will be interacting with the government, who knows government policies. So this course will help. Sometimes they don't tell you that they're going to make you do these things. However, over time, you become aware of the fact there's a lot of government regulation. We're not going to teach you every single regulation in your field. However, you will be exposed to regulation. And so this might help you, this course. It might help you understand something about the way government functions. Higher education. Many politics courses count for general education requirements at colleges and universities. Maybe you need this for NWAC. You can also take this course to transfer to the University of Arkansas or another place of higher learning. It's way cheaper at NWAC. We're a community college and the course credit fee is really low. If you take the same course at University of Arkansas and other places, it's super expensive. So you could actually take the course here and then transfer the credit to the other university. So let me stop here and let's talk about other things later.